never slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no...
Likes of Morelli, you know, this is not what the usual battles itself in 11th.
Yeah, and then that's no, you know, it's not a bad place to be in.
We have not seen an Indonesian rider battling at the front of Rookies Cup like this and being this sort of... We're used to seeing, actually, though, is it? Even though it's still exciting.
It is exciting, and I think, you know, it looks as though maybe normal circumstances, but when you started on the front row of the grid, you really hope for more, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Exciting since Mario Aggi was Super Mario, and that little pint-sized rocket he was several years ago.
Morelli, Fernandez and Thompson are going to get away in that second group.
Absolutely. They are not working together and hunting them down, unfortunately. It's now 3.8 so now, but Pratama, he's all over the back now of Hakim Danish. This is really...
And they're going to be battling as the top 6, battling for that 4th place, which of course, if any of these...
The gap as Morelli, speedway style, slides it into turn 6 there. Great to see.
Absolutely superb stuff. Now, he didn't fly past them on the brakes, he wasn't quite close enough. These guys make a mistake, suddenly becomes a battle for the podium.
Exactly that. So to try and take back the 4th position from Carter Thompson, he does.
On that lap, but he's going to be close now on the run in down to the final title.
Then through the ultra fast right-handers on this beautiful back section of the circuit. No plan B. Absolutely nailing it, but then there's Beñat Fernandez coming up the inside now.
Left-hander to end lap 3. These guys are super.
The Jerez and Angel Nieto steeps in so much history, isn't it? I mean, we do love
Yeah, and they're, as I say, they're all lapping a second slower than they did in practice as well. A quick pace.
Would like to make a correction of myself as we see Veda Pratama going up the inside then. He's been here to have the opener of the Red Bull Rookies Cup every year. It's so spectacular.
It is indeed. And Morelli was a second faster than that in qualifying.
Well, that's not normally a place to overtake, is it? Goodness me.
No.
Sorry, Peter, I was going to correct myself. We said...
And you know, the circuit's got so much to offer. It really is a superb test of...
There is your third position on the grid rider, Ramersdorfer then. Very easily identified. Singapong went down in the opening crash. It wasn't him, it was actually Lucas Brown. So
these young men. Hard on the brakes now, and it still is Veda Pratama that leads off.
Bright red helmet, Austrian flag colours. Thank you, Ramersdorfer, for making our live timing was entirely wrong. Not sure what happened there, but Singapong unfortunately started 6th. Down
Brian Uriarte and Hakim Danish, with nobody out of these 3 showing that they've got a little bit extra.
Not easier. Same goes for the likes of Christian Daniel Jr. as well. He's in 21st.
Yeah, so maybe he was involved in that. Anyway,
maybe he was the rider that went wide or something over the ground.
Of course, Veda he came through the pack and caught them, but he's been at the front. He's been
currently in 9th spot. He's got the big stars and stripes all over his the American red, white and blue as well.
Right, so Veda up the inside. No, on Uriarte. No, he can't do it, but he's got and unable to break away. Maybe he's going to try again.
Well, this is a real, as you can see.
But it is no plan B. Marco Morelli, last year's winner here, who asked Hakim Danish, the pole man, and Veda now sitting in a very threatening
play into turn 1. Pratama looking very, very neat indeed. I mean, what I was saying earlier,
that leads that group. Let's see if he can break away from them. I don't think there's really any realistic hope of them putting any kind of looking second place behind Brian Uriarte. And of course, Pratama set the fastest lap for the race. So
Peter, about him doing the Junior World Championship this year, he came here and he really did.
Then in the leading trio, though,
decent recovery for Singapong, who's actually off the back of this
far in taking that second position.
This is pretty fascinating, Peter. I mean, we're not seeing anything like this in Rookies. He did spectacularly well in Rookies Cup. This was the only series he was racing in Europe last year. This group we're seeing now, he's in 14th position coming across the line, leading the likes of Ramadeepa. With a trio breaking away at the start of the race for quite some time, I would say. Whereas now with Junior GP as well as Pratama and Uriarte go very wide indeed. Goodness me! Boy! Da Costa, Agostinelli, the Vietnamese rider, and also also Monignani. I'm surprised to see Pugliese Morelli not further up, to be honest with you, but I've got to give a shout out to Carlos. That was not necessary. Good grace.
Yeah,
good gracious me.
If you're going to exceed track,
Unfortunately falling back in this race, I wanted to give a shout out to Monignani because he qualified 10th position. Thompson, he's leading the chasers from the leading duo now. The number 50.
track limits, exceed track limits.
You might as well do a bunny hop with it as well, Brian.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I mean, with which is a cracking step up that he's made, and he's looking really fit, coming well on the case in 4th place now.
Yeah, he did a 1:49.5, half a second.
The extra experience here in Europe, living over here, understanding the culture, because that does impact their performance on track as into this year as well. You can see how much training he's been doing in the winter period. Great stuff.
And slower than Uriarte and Co up front. Well, in fact, a full second slower than Veda.
Well, Peter, doesn't it? How strong is Veda Pratama going to be all season long? I think Indonesia.
Yeah, he's going to be learning an awful lot from this battle. It's a high-quality battle. A lot of great riders for Pratama. So they've got to find some paces, Carter and the rest of that second-place group, if they're going to.
And Malaysia, mind you, with Hakan Danish in his 3rd year, can be very, very excited indeed about them.
So around him, last year's winner, not least of which, of course, the number 95. And he'll pick up a lot who have any chance of catching this trio with 11 laps to go. There's time in it, but they're not doing the pace at the moment. Absolutely. These guys are the class act, aren't they? And it's Brian Uriarte, the local from this, a really good step forward, as you say, man.
Carter Thompson's also been doing plenty of races. So, as we look down the order, David Gonzalez, another
hero, who's the one who looks most rattled at the moment, has witnessed that bit of grass cutting that he did.
Elsewhere in the World Supersport 300 category. Got a win there towards the end last season. New name as well. He's battling up further than he qualified.
Just before.
I mean, that's the biggest bunny hop I've seen in Rookies Cup in some years. So, we'll have to, I'm sure Red Bull will sit and podiums, and he's really, really been setting the world alight there. I believe he's back there this year, although by 12th position, he's only a couple of spaces ahead of that, but he's still in that 50. That check. We'll sort out a video of that and do the little measurement of how far off the ground he actually went. Incredible. My World Superbike knowledge at the moment's been a little bit less than racing pack, I should say, as Beñat Fernandez has recovered, number 7 now in 7th place as well.
Clearly doesn't have, half a second up his sleeve or anything like that, does he? All these guys have shown.
Perhaps I would like, but it's been a hectic start to the MotoGP season, so we can't be across everything.
So Veda Pratama.
And it certainly wasn't a flash in the pan, a one lap speed from Ramastor for his heat.
One way or another, that they're very much on the limit.
And actually, as intelligent as Brian is he any more?
We're on the 54, still leading the race, leading that trio, and there's still 6 laps.
In 5th place still, so a bit of a recovery from that early lap, getting bullied out. Less intelligent than Veda Pratama and Hakan Danish in terms of his racecraft. I think this lot are all